Apple reported after the bell, beat expectations. iPhone, iPad, and services also, the sales beat estimates with overall revenue rising 5%. For insights on that and other recent big tech quarterly results, let's bring in Dan Niles, a founder and portfolio manager of Niles Investment Management. Dan, been a while. It's good to have you on this morning. Lots happened since last time you were on, and as I recall, you were, it's definitely not a monolith. Even the Mag 7 aren't monoliths. How's Apple? How was that? Let's start with that.
Well, Apple's the favorite of our Magnificent Seven, partly because they've been the worst of the Magnificent Seven over the last 3 years. If you look at revenue growth, it's been non-existent. March of the most recent quarter was actually up 1% in revenues relative to 3 years ago. It's absolutely pitiful. That's the good news, because they've grown so slowly. I think you're going to see a big upgrade cycle coming because of AI going on to iPhones. I think you'll see growth go from that 1% range into the double-digit range. And it's the only one where I feel confident that you're going to see revenue growth actually accelerate into next year versus where it is right now. And let's face it, everybody's got an iPhone in their pocket, and people are excited to try out these new AI features. And so I think it's one of the few consumer-oriented tech stocks as well that'll do okay, given that it seems like the consumer is slowing down, and we're hearing it whether it's at the high end or at the low end.
You've been saying it's too early on a lot of these big tech names. I wish we've been showing that same chart for a long time. It'd be nice to let's go back a ways and see where Apple's been and where it's traded. We're just staring at that. What else, Dan? Is it too early to buy most of them at this point?
Well, I think you have to be really selective, and that's what we've been really writing about for over the last month, which is, when stocks are going up, everybody invents how it's going to be fantastic 10 years from now, regardless of what the estimates are doing. But if you look at what the estimates have done on the Magnificent Seven, the 6 that have reported so far, with the exception of Meta and Apple, where both they beat revenues and EPS for the June quarter, and the forward revenue and EPS estimates went up. For the other 4, they've gone down. And so that's really what it comes down to, which is you're spending all of this money on AI, but where's the return? If your estimates are going down, but your spending is going up, that's not the situation you want to be in. So for us, we're being pretty selective around it. We like Meta because, you saw the Google results where they had horrible issues with YouTube. Meta, it doesn't look like they have any problems at all. And part of that is they're using AI very, very effectively to help people engage with the platform by recommending things that they think they will like, and then using AI to help monetize the ads that they show. And so that's why you saw them beat the quarter, as well as having forward estimates go up, even though they are spending more on AI. So that's another one we like. We actually bought some NVIDIA back recently, which it's not going to look so good today, obviously. But we think that they're the ones that are actually powering all of these companies in terms of their ability to spend more on AI. And the stock has obviously come back in a lot. And so it's an interesting name. We think they're going to have a beat and raise quarter. I think it's going to be a lot like Cisco was in the mid-90s, where you had some horrific sell-offs of over 35%. On the way to that stock being up 4,000% over the course of 5 years. And I think NVIDIA is going to be roughly similar, where you're going to see some horrific sell-offs and then some recoveries. And I think we've got several more years to go before this AI build-out is over. But it's not to say you're not going to have periods of digestion, just like you saw with Cisco, which we've talked about in the past.
Cisco only went to 600 billion, though. So this went obviously further than anyone thought. So it's going to sell off and then go to new highs. What would new highs look like for NVIDIA? What's the market cap at that point?
I think the stock can double from here. But I also think that's going to be driven by earnings, where I think revenues can double from here. And try to put this in some perspective, Joe, if you go back and you look at the internet build out and you say Netscape Navigator was really the launch of this thing we know as the internet. That was at the end of 1994. From the end of 94 to its ultimate peak in revenues, Cisco's revenues went up 15.5 times. The stock went up 4,000%. So now you look at NVIDIA, and obviously explosive earnings. If you look at the 6 quarters since we heard about this thing called ChatGPT and OpenAI, their revenues have gone up 4.5 times, not 15.5 times, 4.5 times. And the stock has gone up over 600%, but that's not 4,000% either. It actually doesn't look that expensive when you adjust it for its growth rate. And
right.
Relative to Cisco back then, which had Nortel, Lucent, Alcatel, and all these competitors, it's really NVIDIA, and then the list just dramatically falls off.
I mean, that would be a $5 trillion company if it were to double from here. But we didn't think that could happen. Should Intel come out of the Dow at this point? Dan, can you tell me what happened and what's likely to happen from here on out? I know it wasn't one that maybe you were prepared to talk about, but $22, under 23.
Yeah, I mean, it's really a sad case, but this goes back to why I say you have to stay on top of stocks. There's no buy and hold stocks. And Intel's a great example of that, because if you had told anybody 5 years ago that this is where Intel would be today, they would have laughed at you relative to where AMD or an NVIDIA is. And you can do that for a lot of tech companies as well. You can go back to Apple, which almost went bankrupt in 2000 if Microsoft hadn't bought 25% of the company, and now look at where Apple is today. So I think with Intel, yeah, it's sad to see, but they picked a fight with TSMC. That's pretty tough to do when you're already in a fight with NVIDIA and AMD. And so I think to your point, Joe, yeah, you should probably have something different as a representative of the semiconductor industry in the Dow.